What a momentous day to be out here. For those that follow Louisville City, you know that our playing surface is a bit of a punchline of a joke in our league. And so to be able to see this beautiful grass being laid down today is just a great thing, and we're really excited. We've got a great docket of speakers here for you today. We're going to hear from Mr. Mayor Greg FISCHER. We're going to hear from Councilwoman Barbara Sexton Smith, who shepherded us through the Metro Council process. We're going to hear from Coach John Hackworth. We're going to hear from co-owner Mike MOUNTJOY, and we're going to hear from Messer's project manager Jason Larkin. I just want to thank everybody. I want to thank the players and the coaches for putting a winning team on the field, which helped to get us here. I want to thank our local government, the mayor's office and the Metro Council, for having the vision to invest the money into our community, to partner with us so that we could build this great stadium alongside the contribution from our ownership, which is obviously massive. But it takes projects like this to truly grow a city. And we can't just save our way to success. We have to invest and we have to build things like this in our city. And I'm very proud that we've been able to do this in Louisville. Thank you. Yeah. I'd like to thank the Lynn family for their investment into our community and into this team. They've been a sponsor for a long time, but the investment that they've decided to make in this stadium is massive, and we would not be here without them. And I just want to thank the Lynn family as well. Obviously couldn't do this because we can win all the games in the world and we can invest all the money in the world. If we don't have the passionate fans that show up game in and game out, we would not be here. So I really want to thank our supporters who have done everything that they can do to make sure that we got to this point, and I can't wait to hear them pack this place come next April. So without a further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Mayor Greg FISCHER.
Good morning, everybody. What do you think about this place? Well, it's just amazing for me to stand here and think about how far that we've come since the first announcement that the team was coming to town, when there were a couple hundred of us or so, but in the concourse at Louisville Slugger Field, and talking about a dream of bringing professional soccer to our city. And, man, that was an exciting day. But to think how fast we've progressed in such a relatively short period of time, there's no other city in the country that's making this type of progress with professional soccer. And I am so proud of our ownership group, our coaches, our staff, our players, our supporter groups, like Brad just said. I mean, it's like it's been a dream of everything coming together to make this happen. And to think about the success that we've had along the way, from when we first announced in 2014, the championships that we've won, the passion that we see at these games, the crowds that are coming out and creating this special buzz about something that's going on in our city. And when I talk to folks and I ask them, have you been to a city game? You know, 100% of the folks that say, I have been, I'm going back. The folks that haven't been said, I've heard about it and I really want to go to a city game. And so if they're waiting for this beautiful new stadium to be their first experience with professional soccer, that's going to be an amazing thing, and continue to build the kind of momentum that we have here locally that is reverberating all throughout the soccer universe all around the world. Everybody's asking, what's happening in Louisville? How do you win 2 championships in a row? How do you build a new stadium? How do you build a stadium that looks so damn good as this stadium, that's so close to downtown and it's walkable and it builds the neighborhood that we have here? So it's a wonderful thing to see all the pieces of the puzzle coming together, not just from pro sports, but from the team as well that it's helped pull this together. We've built a unique chemistry between the ownership group, between all of our allies on the Metro Council, with city government. Jeff Mosley is here. I want to thank you, Jeff, for the incredible job that you've helped put together here on making this happen, and from government and the private sector coming together, you and the whole Louisville Forward team. Let's hear it for city government. That's right. So today is the next step. And when you think about just this spot here in our city, of course, this is going to be electric at the first game next April. And when you think about what this stadium district is doing for our city, because, yes, we have this district right here, But when you think about Waterfront Park, Botanical Gardens, the soccer stadium, the heart of this district, and then the $200 million or so of additional investment that's going to take place around here. Then we roll into Butchertown, we roll into Nulu. We're still trying to figure out what to call this space of the city. I call it Bulu, where Butchertown and Nulu comes together. And then you go up into the healthcare district, et cetera. But basically from the river all the way through the Highlands, we have this incredible built environment space that I'll put up against any other city in the country. So just a big time thanks for everybody pulling this together. Want to thank John Neese, Brad, thank you. You're doing an incredible job leading the team here in so many different ways, both inside and outside in the community and to the league as well. Mike MOUNTJOY, Barrett, I see you here today, John as well. Just all the many owners that have come together to make this happen. Coach HACKWORTH, thank you very much. Where's the coach? Coach is in the house somewhere. Thank you for leading us to what will be another championship this year. Our players, I love the fact that you guys are professional athletes, but you're also great community supporters as well. And I can't tell you how important that is. When the little kids are thinking about, am I going to play soccer, am I going to support the team? When you all put your arm around them and encourage them to play hard and be the best you can be, that really lifts up our entire city. So a big round of applause to our players here as well. And I don't know if Mark and Cindy Lynn are here or not. That's just like them. They don't need the accolades. These are wonderful citizens, business people, philanthropists that step up always at the right time to help out, whether it's here, whether it's another initiative in Louisville. But it's going to be a proud moment to see their name on this stadium as people drive by and they come and see me at my office and say, tell me about that stadium that's going up next to the expressway. It looks incredible. And that's just going to continue to go on and on for our city. So we got a big game on Saturday night as we take on Tampa Bay and continue our march for the playoffs. So I'd encourage everybody to come out this Saturday, but then put the home dates on your calendar right now so we can come on out and support Louisville City in 2020 and open up this beautiful stadium. It's going to be electric. Congratulations, everybody.
I'd like to introduce a very special lady to speak next. Her name is Barbara Sexton Smith, and she's our council, Metro Council rep. She was a great partner shepherding us through the local government process to get our stadium approved, and she's been a great friend. I'm glad to know her. And I'm also proud to announce that as of today, she's won an award for the cutest hard hat in the history of hard hats ever. Barbara Sexton Smith.
All right, well, I love to say when we're in District 4, Mike, welcome to District 4. That's right. Mayor Fischer, thank you so much for setting the stage. I think, Mayor Fischer is always looking ahead. He's always strategic. Every word he says, from my perspective, is thought of and thought about looking into where we're headed. I think, Brad, Mayor Fischer's tipped his hat to what the theme song's going to be. It's electric, right? It is electric. When I look back at my role in Metro Council, John, there I was, a newly elected official, not really knowing exactly how to navigate my business. And then Jeff Mosley called me and said, I'm going to come over and visit with you. We're going to talk about a $200 million TIF. And I had to stop and think for just a moment. And thank goodness I had done my homework, and I knew that was the acronym for tax increment financing, Mike, and a public-private partnership. Kentucky was fairly new into that business, and Louisville, although we had examples, we were fairly new. And thanks to the leadership of Brad Estes, Mike MOUNTJOY, John Hollenbach, Tim Malloy, and John Neese, who never gave up on me, I learned what I needed to do to help shepherd this financing package through the Metro Council. If you followed it, it was a brisk and lively and healthy discussion. There was not total agreement all the way along the way. I never had doubt, not one moment, because I believed in the players, the team, and the dream. And it's not just about this space that, by the way, for me, represents what might be the world's largest bourbon barrel, I'll claim it, That's right. We're the epicenter of bourbon in the world. And when folks come here to 16 million visitors a year to visit our bourbon trail, I know they're going to put one of these matches on the map and on the schedule. We hope that you will. As I also think about who around the world is looking at Louisville, Kentucky right now, I have proof just last weekend that folks all around the world can't wait for this stadium to get open. That's right. I, along with a few of my colleagues, we traveled to LaSalle, Ontario in Canada this past weekend as an exchange visit as our newest sister city under the Friendship Memorandum Agreement. I kid you not, the plane landed at 7:43. Mayor, I'm proud to announce I got across the border, lickety-split, no problems. It was coming back home. I was going to make sure they let me come back. And within about 45 minutes, I was seated at a breakfast table in Canada. The server walks up to the table, takes the order, asks me where my accent is from. I didn't know it was so noticeable. And I said, Louisville, Kentucky. And with that, the server in Canada said, oh my gosh, you all have the greatest stadium that's being built. I can't wait to come there. I've been in Louisville. I've played soccer in Louisville. Well, I got so daggone excited. I text Tim Malloy and I said, I've met a professional soccer coach and he's serving tables in Canada. I don't understand. Well, Mike, it turns out I spent a day and a half thinking that a professional soccer coach of the Jaguars was serving my coffee. He coaches a youth soccer league. He can't wait to get those youth players from Canada here to Louisville, Kentucky. What are we going to say when they get here? Together we create a great connected community. Congratulations to everybody. I am thrilled and honored to be able to take a stand next to Mayor Fisher and roll out the green. Thank you so much, Brad.
I'll just take a minute, let everybody's heart rate come back down for a second. I think she's got a career in politics, so she just gets some passion behind her. I'm sorry, Hack. I got to introduce our coach, John Hackworth. He's got to follow Barbara Sexton Smith, but I just want to say a couple of words about Hack. And he came into a very tough situation last year. In the middle of the season, we were playing very well, and he has to come in and manage this team. And he did nothing but close out the season with 10 wins and another USL Cup championship. And we're very proud of that back-to-back. And I'm not going to say what they said, but we're looking forward to the rest of the season. I'll say that much. So, John Hackworth.
Howie Lindsay, where are you at? Did you put me after her? Because she is unbelievable, and I can never top that. Look, this is wonderful for all of us, and can't thank everyone that said the thank yous. I fully agree with everything there. I would like to say that there's a couple board members and owners that were really critical to me being here, and I'd like to recognize them. John Hollenbach, thank you so much. Tim Malloy, I think you're here. Tom Muller, thank you guys so much. Our whole ownership group and the board, I know, Mike, you're coming up next, so thank you too. But it's amazing what we're doing here. And the fact that we have this field today being rolled out for the players and the coaching staff, it makes it real. And that is amazing. But this is just a small part of what we really have planned here. We're going to do so much more. We're going to build a youth program, potentially build a new training facility. We have aspirations to be one of the best clubs in this country and rival anybody anywhere in the world. So this is just the first part of it, and I can't wait for the rest of it to happen. I truly appreciate all the support of our owners and the community and the fans. Brad, you've been instrumental in helping us get to where we are, so thank you. Today's a celebration. Let's celebrate it. Thank you.
You know, here at Lou City, we've got a great ownership group. We have 40-something owners that are all pillars of our community. I'm very proud to work for them. We have a board of directors of 7 that is extremely engaged, and we would not be able to be here literally. People say that all the time, but we literally wouldn't be able to be here without the efforts of that group. John Neese and Mike MOUNTJOY co-chair our board, and we have John Hollenbach, Tim Malloy, Tom Mueller, Chris Harding, and Barrett Nichols that are also on the board of directors, and everybody plays a key role. But since we didn't want to be here until happy hour, we have one representative to speak, and that's going to be Mr. Mike MOUNTJOY.
Thank you, Brad, and I agree with you, Hack. You know, following Barbara is impossible. And I'm going to play the same record a little bit again, but really on behalf of the ownership group, the thank yous that need to go out to those who've made this dream a reality. Certainly Mayor Fischer and the Metro Council and their work with us. Jeff Mosley worked tirelessly to build the master development agreement that we have to build out this facility, as you see here. From the dream, the state of Kentucky and their help in supplying us with the TIF, as Barbara explained, that allows us to assist in the financing of this structure. Our ownership group, and I need to thank my wife Carolyn, who's put up with me through this process and is a part of our ownership group. But our ownership group has stepped up every time we've asked for a cash call to continue to pay for what we needed to pay for, both team-wise and stadium-wise, and certainly our bankers. So they've supplied the money, the assistance and so forth to help us make this thing come to fruition. I've got to thank the builders, Messer Construction. They've been wonderful to work with. Hollenbach Oakley has been our consultant through the process, and they've done a magnificent job. Our construction committee, a group that you've heard mentioned a minute ago that have worked tirelessly every Tuesday since the beginning without pay, Tom Mueller and Tim Malloy and Barrett Nichols, as we've met and worked on keeping this project on track, on time, and on budget, as we like to say, to bring it to fruition. I'll also say that now that we have this dream that we talked about 2 or 3 years ago is now certainly a reality. It's not finished, but it's close. And we're far enough along now that committee, that development committee that I talked about, is starting to turn its eyes to the rest of the area. And we're considering the process of the master planning for the rest of the development so we can bring to downtown Louisville a world-class entertainment and a live, work, play district that is surrounding the soccer stadium as the jewel in the crown of this Butchertown Development District. So we stay tuned for that. That'll be in the future. You know, I gotta say though that none of this works without a great team. And I want to thank John and his predecessor and the players that we have and the effort that they've made for our team to be a championship team. These last 2 years winning the national championship, and I've explained that to other groups. Those are national championships. That's a big deal, a bigger deal than I think we even understand at this point. Our team has been fantastic. Our coaching staff has been fantastic in building what we need to do. But remember, there would be no team without fans. And the supporters that have been with us since the beginning, the supporters group, the fans that we've had, the 10,000 people that will be in Slugger Field Saturday night watching us play Tampa, those fans have created what we have to have here to make this thing work. You know, since Wayne Estopinal came to us some years ago, and with the idea of bringing professional soccer to the city of Louisville, and he was passionate about that. He pushed that issue. We coalesced this group of ragtag business guys who were willing to put the money in. But since Wayne came, the fans and the supporters group have been the energy, have been the support, and have pushed us to get where we are now. So my point is, this stadium belongs to our fans. It's all about you. Thank you very much for all you've done for us. Be there tomorrow night. 10,000 plus in Slugger Field for a win.
I encourage everybody to be there tomorrow night, but if you want to see our soccer game, be there Saturday night, okay? Because that's when we play soccer. But I'm sure the Bats would love to see you on Friday night. So last but not least, I'd like to introduce somebody, but before I do that, our construction team has been phenomenal. When we got into this process, I think all of us were a little bit nervous. We joke around saying this is our first stadium, right? Nobody's ever built a stadium before. We were very nervous getting into it about how the relationships would work with our contractors, and there's so many variables. One of the guys that doesn't get thanked ever, and I'm ashamed of it at this point, is a gentleman that works for Hollenbach Oakley by the name of Lee Haskin. Is Lee here? Lee Haskin is the project manager that works for us, and Lee Haskin works absolutely diligently to make sure that this project goes off without a hitch. And I just wanted to publicly thank him because he doesn't get any credit, and he deserves most of the credit for this project. So great job, Lee. We've been extremely happy with Messer Construction. They've done a great job. They've been very fair with us through this process. When you come to them with a change order, it feels like everything's fair. They've done a great job. They're keeping us on time and on budget. And I just laughed with Justin. We're on budget. The budget's changed a couple of times, but we are on budget. It's just all about how you make that work, right? But I would like to introduce Jason Larkin, who is the boots on the ground man here on this project every single day. He's a great partner. He's grown to be a friend. And without further ado, Mr. Jason Larkin.
Brad, I appreciate the kind words. And Lee, like Brad said, thanks for all that you do, man. So here at Messer Harmon, we're very thankful to get to build this beautiful stadium for the city and for the team. So thank you guys for giving us the opportunity. I want to give you a little bit of context of what's going on behind us today. The first question I'll answer without being asked is yes, we are on time, and I can report that we're going to be ready for the first game whenever Brad decides that day is. So what we got going on behind us is we have some Bermuda sod going down. It's about 100,000 square feet of sod. We've grown it in Patoka, Indiana. It's called Tahoma 31. It's great for soccer. I mean, the guys don't want to play on AstroTurf and grass together. They want to play on a true pitch that's perfectly flat, that the ball rolls true, and it's easier for them to score all those goals, right? So we have about half a day left to install the sod here, and underneath this surface, a lot of work went in before the 2 days of laying sod. There's a very intricate drainage system that allows the water to be taken off the field very rapidly in an event that it rains during a game. As well, there's a system, it's called a sub-air system. It blows air under the field. It can either be room temperature or whatever the temperature is outside, or it can even be heated air. That heated air allows the grass to grow and thrive in our variable temperature here in Kentucky. We're very difficult to grow grass here in Kentucky. Any of the grounds crew members here would tell you. We're in a transitional zone, and this system turns this field as if it's down in the south. Everybody knows that Bermuda likes to grow in the south, and we'll be able to make that here on this field. So without further ado, I'll turn it back over to Brad, but we're happy to be here today and happy to make this thing green. Thanks.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to officially roll out the green carpet, which is a great idea by one of the marketing folks here. I think I'm looking at it right now. Great idea here. We've got a couple extra spots up here, and I always hesitate to, because we're a team first and foremost with our soccer players. I hesitate to call out any individuals, but I would like to invite, because he's been here from the beginning, I'd like to invite Niall McCabe to join us here to roll out some grass. And I would like to invite Paolo Del Piccolo, our captain, El Capitan. We're glad to see him back on the pitch this weekend. Let's let him roll out some grass as well. I would also like to invite our board of directors to come stand behind while we do the rollout.